The most important thing for investors to do is look at what does management team say they're going to do and what do they actually do. Hims and Hers in May announced that they were raising about $1 billion via convertible senior notes. And they said they were going to do that to invest in artificial intelligence and to expand their global operations. This morning, as I'm recording, they announced a major new acquisition in Europe that's going to get them into France, the UK, Germany, and Ireland. This is a big move into Europe for Hims and Hers. So I want to go through exactly what's going on and what we know so far. My name is Travis Hoium. Thanks for watching Asymmetric Investing. Please subscribe here on YouTube for all my content. And thanks to this video sponsor, The Motley Fool. If you go to fool.com/ASYM, they'll give you their top 10 stocks to buy right now. Let's start with that debt offering, because what I found really notable here is that Hims and Hers says right at the beginning here, they intend to support global expansion through organic growth and strategic acquisitions. That's exactly what this purchase of ZAVA is a strategic acquisition. Then they also went into investments in AI diagnostics, personalized treatments, and things like that. But this announcement was May 8th. That was when they actually priced their offering. And then here, June 3rd, they said that they are acquiring ZAVA, which is a company that operates in the UK, Germany, France, and Ireland. And this is gonna significantly expand the market for Hims and Hers. This is not exactly the same business as Hims and Hers, but you can see here that this is a business that's going to go directly to consumers, your health, your doctors, no queues. So it's going to be a digital service, just like Hims and Hers is. They've had 12 million plus consultations. There's 1.3 million users. And you can see that this is a delivery service. They're delivering products just like Hims and Hers is. And a lot of the services are very similar. Weight loss, contraceptive pills, ED, asthma treatments. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Hims and Hers get into some of these simpler things like this. And then things like treating STIs. Now, Hims and Hers says right here that they're going to introduce new and personalized digital health in Europe. So providing some of the same treatments that they offer in the US. And this is really the advantage of their business model. They're able to develop these technologies and the go-to-market strategy in the US, and they're able to replicate it all around the world. This is going to be something that's going to allow them to open up in a few different countries in Europe. I wouldn't be surprised if they spread across Europe over the next couple of years. Now, this deal is expected to close in the second half of this year. And the other notable piece is it's going to be funded 100% with cash. We don't know the exact purchase price right now, but I think it's safe to say that it's going to be easily fitting underneath that $1 billion number that they raised just recently. And that is the kind of growth that you want to see from Hims and Hers, especially if they're able to increase revenue for ZAVA at the same rate that they've been doing that in the US. So let's look at some of those operating numbers, because I think this is really where Hims and Hers has the opportunity to grow in a number of different ways. They can expand their relationship with existing customers. They can increase to more and more customers, particularly in the US, and they can offer more solutions. That's really the key, is pushing on all three of those things. And if you can do those three in each market, and then when you're able to layer in international expansion, you have a phenomenal growth opportunity. And this is a company that is already growing like crazy. These are all trailing 12-month numbers. And you can see that over the past 12 months, the company has grown at 86%. And one of the things I think investors need to look at is the growth that they've had compared to the marketing spend. So this is SG&A expenses, sales, general, and administrative expenses. What Hims and Hers has really done is they become a direct-to-consumer product. So you're going to see them advertising, yes, on things like TV and on billboards, but most of their marketing is going to be targeted to specific groups of people. So they're going to target different products to different people. This is really something that's new over the past 10 to 15 years, as companies like Meta and Alphabet have leaned into this targeted advertising that you can do online. Hims and Hers is leaning into that. So they want to break in with a product that's going to be relatable to people, and then expand with personalizations or with other offerings that they have that may be adjacent. That's why increasing the treatments that you have, increasing the solutions that you can bring to market to customers is really going to be a key to their growth, because then you're going to be able to target more and more customers. Just having one product that you serve isn't going to be all that compelling to everyone in a country. It's just going to be compelling to a small subset. You're going to be able to reach that subset of people, but that's going to limit your growth opportunity until you start to expand the number of services. That's something they're doing in the US with menopause. That's something that they're likely going to bring to Europe with this acquisition. They're going to be able to roll in the products that they are selling now and potentially add some of these products that they're acquiring in Europe. Maybe those things start to come to the US as well. So you can see here that selling, general, and administrative expenses are growing much more slowly than revenue has. And that's why you get the increase in net income. Now, management has said that margin expansion can be 1 to 3 percentage points basically for the foreseeable future, so at least for the next few years. So this is going to help grow this acquisition is going to help grow that top line, going to get more leverage on their technology, their artificial intelligence, all of the investments that they have going into the business. You're going to get more leverage as you have more geographic exposure, and that will increase the addressable market. Thanks to our friends at The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/ASYM for the top 10 stocks to buy right now. So the market hasn't actually reacted all that positively to the stock. As I'm recording, shares are actually down 3% today. Shares were up about 17% early in trading. So interesting to see that the stock is declining later in the day, but I think this is generally the kind of positive news that you want to see from Hims and Hers. I want to see more and more products. I want to see people getting excited about those products. So an increase in the number of customers that they have, increase in the amount of money that each of those customers is spending. That tells you that the business strategy is working, that the return on their advertising spend that they have in that direct to consumer advertising is really starting to pay off. And now with this international expansion, you just increase that addressable market so much more than you had just in the US. So this is probably a first step towards international expansion, but this also means that Hims and Hers could potentially grow in excess of 40 or 50% for the foreseeable future. I don't see any reason to think that they couldn't continue to grow at just an astronomical rate. So as I'm recording, shares are trading for about 7 times sales. Enterprise value is about 7 times sales. That's a relatively reasonable multiple, not the lowest that we've seen for Hims and Hers, but like I said, that extremely high growth rate is very impressive. Price to earnings multiple is almost 70 on a forward basis. That looks pretty expensive, but again, Hims and Hers is growing so quickly that I wouldn't be too concerned about a price to earnings multiple at this point, especially with the margin expansion that you have in the business. So love everything that's going on with Hims and Hers right now, a stock that I've been acquiring for over a year now, and will likely to continue to buy more in the near future. But let me know what you think about the acquisition of ZAVA and the move into Europe. Is this the kind of thing that could lead to the next leg higher for Hims and Hers? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to Asymmetric Investing. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you here next time.